You're in the kitchen.
All right, we are back with another kitchen conversation brought to you by Wisdom Essentials. Wisdom Essentials, the best CBD brand out there. Jared's got his Soothe Stick right there. They are fantastic. You can find them at wisdomessentials.com. Thank you guys for being a sponsor and for taking care of our backs and knees and shoulders and everything else that's aching us.
Every time before I play and every time after, I'm slathering on the Soothe Stick.
And the gummies before you go to bed.
The gummies and the focus drops for when I need to really dig into the grind.
It's good stuff. All right. Well, today we got a special guest, the Italian stallion, the Sultan of Slide, the California kid, the most exciting thing to happen to singles pickleball in a long time, Julian Arnold. Welcome to the show, Julian.
Hey, guys. Good to be here.
I love the shirt.
Oh, yeah. I picked this one out especially for this interview. You know?
Your logo looks a lot bigger than mine.
That's because my chest is just massive. If you haven't seen me on the court, I'm pretty shredded.
How's it going?
Good. Just had a pretty chill day getting ready for this little MLP pickleball night thing over at Dreamland. So yeah, just been relaxing and just kind of taking it easy, and then I'm probably gonna head out there after this interview and get some practice in before the night begins.
Cool. And tell the kitchen viewers where you're located right now.
I am in Austin, Texas, pretty close to downtown. It's a pretty sweet spot. So I'm glad to be here. Felt like the move was essential to further my game. I think as you guys can see, the competition is getting pretty fierce out there, and if you're not willing to really commit to making this a full-time gig, then I think you're gonna have a tough time keeping up with these players. So there's so many strong players out there, and I really felt like it was time for me to start playing more than just a couple times a week, and definitely with better players. So it's been awesome. I'm so thankful to be here and have a buddy that's been able to help me out and get me here and get me the practice that I need to take it to the next level.
So Julian, let's go back a little bit. You're from California originally. This is where you moved out from. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm from the Central Coast area, small little town called San Luis Obispo, where I was born and raised. So yeah, I've been there for a majority of my life. Yeah.
My wife went to college there, actually.
I think I remember you telling me that when we first met. Yeah, it's a great school. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is a fantastic school. I probably would have gone there if I didn't feel like I needed to get a little bit of space from my mom, but it is a great school. My coach growing up was the women's coach there, so I spent a lot of time at the campus, and it's a good spot to be.
Do you want to talk about the issues with your mother?
No issues, obviously. I love my mom. She's fantastic. She's done so much for me, and she raised me as a single parent. She's just a kind of a typical Italian mother, very, very loving, I guess, to put it in one way. So, but it was nice. It was nice to move away for college and get a little bit of space, which I think is pretty natural for most kids around that age. So I just knew being in the same town would feel a little bit like high school all over again.
I just want to let you know this is a safe space, right? So nothing conversation. We can talk about anything. If you do want to talk about your mother issues, we will charge you.
No mommy issues. No
okay,
mommy
good.
issues.
Good. What is your mom's name?
Doriana. Like Adriana, but with a D.
But like the fish from Nemo.
Yeah, I guess the first four letters are Dori. So.
All right. Well, hello, Doriana. And so then from SLO, you went to UCLA.
Yes, yeah, I decided to go down to LA, which was it was perfect. It was far enough that I didn't think my mom could just drive down on a whim's notice, and close enough that I could go home for any holiday or event or whatever whenever I wanted. So
let's not underestimate the power of going to UCLA full tennis scholarship.
I was offered about an 85%, and then just based on
That's full
my
in tennis, right?
yeah, that's it's pretty hard to get a full ride, especially with men's programs. You only get 4.5 to split amongst your players. So I actually, to help the team out, I got a pretty good offer with financial aid just from my family's background. So I was able to tell Billy, like, hey, I don't necessarily need to take this scholarship. You can use it on a player, and we ended up getting a French player in the winter. So that kind of helped the team out and build our depth a little bit. And then I was in the same position. So
But what
yeah.
the reason why I mentioned that is that you were a 5-star recruit out of high school. You were legit top, top 50 player in the country.
I don't know exactly what my national ranking would have been. I didn't travel too much outside of California, but I did manage to make sure when I was playing a Southern Cal tournament that I was making sure that it was worth my effort to go down there. It's a pretty far drive from San Luis Obispo, so definitely tried to be prepared and give it my all and make sure I was doing work, I guess. So, but yeah, I guess with tennis recruiting, I was a 5-star or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know if that website is still relevant nowadays, if people even know what that means. But
yeah, I do. I know what it means, and yeah, it's still relevant. And you were a big deal. You still are a big deal now, just in pickleball.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm just out
Modest.
there.
I've never heard him so modest. This is crazy.
And this is one of the great. And we'll touch on this a little bit later. But Julian on the court is about as fiery and passionate as they come, but off the court, he's pretty normal, nice, friendly, humble guy, as you can see here. And I actually played rec with him last week, and I didn't hear any andiamos. I didn't hear any bite. It was just a lot. Actually, he was ripping on me a lot.
A lot of criticism, if I remember. Yeah.
But that's warranted. But yeah, so I guess I'm curious. That's kind of fast forwarding. But how did you get into pickleball? How did pickleball come into your life?
I guess kind of a little bit of a sad story, really. But
does it involve your mom?
No, it does not involve my mom. No. So I guess about a year ago now, I think I've been playing for probably 9, almost 10 months. But yeah, sometime last year, I just had a couple of life events happen. The main one was I had my golden retriever passed away, and she was a really big part of the family and just an incredible animal. And combined with some other things that was going on in my life, I was just not in a great place emotionally. So I had some, I've been teaching tennis for close to 10 years, or I was, I guess. So I had some clients reach out to me who had gotten into pickleball and just said, hey, it looks like you've been really down. Why don't you come out and hit the ball around with us, have some fun or whatever. So I did, and like any tennis player that gets into pickleball, I initially hated it, but I stuck with it for a couple of weeks. That turned into a couple of months, and eventually these Tuesday nights that I was going out to Pismo Beach and playing were some of the highlights of my week. So yeah, I slowly fell in love with the game, and yeah, I guess that's really how I got into it. I mean, I also have my buddy Ryan Cohen, who you guys know, um, also mentioned to me in the past, like, hey, you should start playing this game. And really, I kind of wish I had when he initially told me, but I'll go back to the whole tennis thing. I think most tennis players kind of scoff at this game at first, when really it is a lot of fun. And now that I have played a lot of singles, I definitely can appreciate the athletic side to it as well. I mean, it's not easy by any means. It takes a physical toll to get out there and play singles. Granted, it's not as long as a tennis match, but it's pretty high speed. It's constant movement. You're really all over the place, and I mean, if you're not 100% with your body, good luck, I'd say. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I got into it, and I'm really glad that I did. I mean, it's been life altering for me, and I've been just loving it. I've always been a really competitive person, so it's awesome to get back into competition. I love that more than anything. That's I think that's why you guys see that side of me come out on the court. I am a very passionate person, and really, I just love to compete. It's not even necessarily I mean, the winning is a byproduct of that, but really just getting out there and just getting to do something that I love at 100% is just a extremely gratifying feeling. So.
That's great. So Jared has mentioned that you get really fiery on the court. You do speak a little Italian out there. What is the origins of the Italian? I think your mom is Italian. Is that right?
Yeah, my mom is full Neapolitan. I've spent probably close to, God, somewhere between 15 and 20 summers of my life there in Italy. Most of my family's there. My dad is
What part of Italy?
Naples. She's Neapolitan.
Got it.
Naples, yeah.
Like
So, where the pizza's from, exactly. It's not really a tourist location. Maybe a little bit more now that people just have probably been to Italy multiple times and want to explore the country a little bit more. But I'd have to say it's probably one of the areas for the, if you want food, the best food, street food, pizza, you got to check out Naples. It's the second biggest city in Italy behind Rome, so it's got that big city feel, and I would recommend anyone who's taking a trip there give it a.
Jared and I are going to Naples for the U.S. Open this year.
Yeah. Good one. Yeah. A little bit different. Actually, being in Florida for the first time a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was, there were some areas that definitely gave me Italian vibes. So I can see the similarities. I see why they named their cities after the real ones. So
we'll try the pizza there. So you've had some early success in singles, in doubles as well, right? You've had some good finishes in doubles.
I don't know what the highest I've finished in doubles, but I mean, I'm just happy to get partners. I think that's the most difficult thing when you're coming into the sport and you're new is, it's understandable. People are hesitant to just say, hey, yeah, I'll play with you. Like, you kind of almost have to find someone who's in the same boat as you, just trying to make their way up through the sport and hope that you get some good results and people start to notice you. Or I guess, give singles a go, even though they are pretty different skill sets, I'd say. It's not like every singles player can transfer over to the doubles court.
Do you think that some of your doubles partners choose to play with you because you can buy them beer?
If you're asking if I've ever bought Hayden a beer, I have not.
But I am interested in how that dance works, right? Like, how is your approach? Do you approach people with it? Do you hear that people are looking? How does that work? Because we see the movement. People are always switching partners. How does that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the philosophy that, the worst someone can say is no. But the worst thing that I can do is not ask. So, I might as well, put
Okay,
my
I'll play
name in
with you.
the put
Okay,
my name. Yeah.
I can read through the lines. I'll play with you. Deal.
All right, let's do it.
He's already my partner. Okay, we had
I got a lot of openings. Can I have both of you, actually? I think that would help
threesome.
cover the court a little bit. Yeah. No? Jason, you serve. Jared can come in for the putaways.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, no, I think really just to answer the question, I kind of just try to ask whoever I feel like maybe doesn't have a consistent partner. I see that they're jumping around. I've been pretty lucky to be able to play a couple with Hayden. I really enjoyed playing with him. I got to play one early in the year with Wes Burrows. I was originally supposed to play with Matt Chow, but he ended up not being able to make it. And I don't think I could have had a better time playing with Wes. He's such a nice guy and an amazing player. So I'm hoping I can drag him back out on the court. I know he's.
I really wish Sweeps played more tournaments. I mean, he's a great player.
I know. I'm in the same boat, Jared. But yeah, I mean, maybe I can convince him to play a couple more. I think he tolerated me decently, so I think we had some fun. And yeah, maybe when the tournaments get a little closer to the West Coast, I might be able to drag him out.
How about on the mixed side? Who do you have in store for this year?
So I don't think I've played a mixed tournament since getting that fortunate opportunity to play with Lauren at the Masters, and that one just kind of fell in my lap, thankfully, and that was a blast. And then I'm actually going to play my first mix of the year here in Red Rock with Elise Jones, so I am just so pumped for that.
Jason's a big fan of Elise.
I'm a huge fan. I told her I was worried. The only thing that worries me is that you two, so much energy on one court, the collision that could take place. You could both be wiped off the planet, just like that. There's too much energy, there's too much action. You guys are running way too fast. Be careful. Be careful.
It's like where's my camera? It's like two positive magnets kind of trying to bump up against each other. Is that what you're getting at?
When it flips, it just
as long as you stay positive.
Stay positive.
Right. Yes.
I was watching you in Austin playing Tyson, and you beat him in the first game pretty handily, I felt like. And I asked you after the match. You ended up losing the match. You got fourth, which is a huge accomplishment. And I asked you about your passion and your fire, and if you felt that when things are going good, it is a real positive. But then when things start spiraling, I almost wondered if it had an adverse kind of effect. Curious to get your thoughts on that in front of the kitchen audience.
Yeah, I mean, I think against Tyson, there were a couple moments where I definitely got negative. I think there's a big difference, though, between the negativity when I'm looking kind of like a child and pouting, as I like to call it, versus being critical of myself. I'm a big believer that to stay in the moment or to progress throughout the match, I don't want to be overly positive where it's like, oh, it's okay, and that shot is, we'll do better next time. I'm more in the gear of trying to motivate myself. So, to have the mindset where it's to say it's almost never good enough, I think is a better mindset. Not to be like sounding like I'm just absolutely psycho, but I think that mentality of trying to push yourself and constantly progress from point to point is what I'm trying to do. And I know I do it in a very intense way, and from the outside lens, it can look like a lot. but everyone operates differently. So, you know, I know I'm never going to be like a JW or like a Ben. But that's not to say that what they're doing isn't right. I don't really think that there is a right way to go about being a champion. There is an efficient way to go about being a champion. Um, so with that being said, I operate different than they do, just like Tyson operates differently than they do. You know, if we're putting ourselves on a scale, I'm probably like a 7 or 8 on the intensity at all times, and I need to make sure that I'm either who's a 10.
Yeah.
I think me when I'm a little out of control. So like what you were talking about. So just going a little too much. Or when I scream out andiamo, that's a 10, and then I bring it back down, you know?
Don't get me wrong, man. I love it. I think, and for those who don't know, Julian's been wearing the kitchen logo, and you know, Julian, you're one of the players that Jason and I saw, and we immediately were like, we got to talk to this guy. We want to work with this guy. We want to help raise his profile. I think you're great for the sport. And as I consider you a friend, I just want to see you putting yourself in the best, you know, setting yourself up for success, and you know yourself way better than I do, obviously, and I trust that you're taking care of. And I like that you kind of hold yourself accountable. It sounds like on the court, and when you hit a bad shot, it's not just, oh well, you know, I'll get it next time. You get pissed at yourself, and I more actually asked the question because I tend to go through the downward spiral when I'm playing, and I've just found that when I do that, it doesn't lead me anywhere good. So I'm trying to figure out how not to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I agree. You don't want it to spiral into negativity. So you know, however you do it, you just need to figure out how you're channeling it to be positive, even though maybe, you know, it seems like you're tearing yourself down. I don't know. Language is also really crucial. Like I don't want to like say like don't do that, or, you know, like say I miss a backhand in the net or something like that, and instead of saying, hey, like, how could you hit that in the net, or don't hit that ball so low, or don't hit it so hard, whatever the error was, why don't we focus more on the solution side? Like, all right, let's get our legs into it. Let's get under that ball. Let's create a little more spin. Like, what's the solution to fixing the error that you just made? So, you know, I try to use a lot of that language versus the negative, the don'ts and I can'ts. Right. As soon as you start letting that creep into your mind, then I think you're starting to battle yourself. So I know for me, I think it's more trying to avoid, like going back to the Tyson match. I think it's for me, it's trying to avoid getting frustrated with the things that are outside of my control. Coming from tennis, you know, there's certain things that we've gotten accustomed to that happen a lot on the pickleball court that you just wouldn't have to deal with on the tennis court. Like one of my earlier matches, I was up on one of the higher courts, and it was right where the gate was. So there's 4 pickleball courts on a tennis court. This would normally be my own court to play my match on, and once you've entered the court, no one else is coming on the court. Instead, you know, I probably played almost an entire game, and then from that point on, we maybe played 2 to 3 points at a time, and then someone would come on. Like, it was constant interruptions. And, you know, I think going forward, I'm going to try to have more of a mentality where these are things that I just can't control, and there's no reason that I should be working myself up and getting frustrated over it. Instead, I just, you know, that's not helping me achieve my goal, right? So to just put those aside, or like in the Tyson match, I fell, right? I slipped on the banner. The court is the size that the court is going to be. There's nothing I can do about it. And as unfortunate as that was, I just need to move on and not let that feed into that emotional frustration. So if I can do a better job of managing that side, then I think you'll continue to see more of the positivity out there, you know, instead of me kind of dragging my feet, kicking the ball, tossing my paddle, whatever the childish actions that I was doing out there that really don't help me win the match or look good to the viewers. So.
But you wear your emotions on your sleeve, and I appreciate that as someone who sometimes does that. And I think it actually resonates with people. I've always kind of gravitated towards the tennis players that had a little bit of a temper. We don't want to celebrate, throwing rackets or paddles or verbally abusing anybody, but showing that fire, there's something to it. And I will say, from a pickleball perspective, nobody's really doing that. Everybody's very calm and golf-like. So there's a little bit of having that passion shine through that is attractive and separates you, quite honestly, from the rest of everybody. And I'm sure that's going to be a polarizing thing, right? You'll get some people that love it and some people that don't. But I commend you for it. And I can imagine that, I assume when you were playing tennis, you were of a similar ilk. Were you fiery on the tennis court?
No, it was dead quiet. Yeah, it was exactly the same on the tennis court. And I'd say it felt a little less awkward because you're much further away from your opponent. I feel like at times, and I could be wrong, but it seems like at times maybe people or my opponents might take it the wrong way or take it personal. And I'm really just doing it for myself. I have nothing against my opponents. Many of them have become close friends at this point. And yeah, really, it's not a stare down. It's not in your face kind of thing. I'm even trying to do a better job of trying to turn around at times, just because you are so close.
And I do hear you throw out the great shot. Like I feel like you're constantly complimenting your opponent when they hit a good shot, and I've never seen it towards an opponent, so I think that's good.
Yeah, I try. I definitely. I try to be as much of a gentleman as possible on the tennis court. I know. If I was playing myself, I would probably think I was pretty annoying as well. So it's not like I'm blind to what's going on out there. But at the same time, if someone hits a great shot, that's a great shot. And I have no problem letting them know that, that was a hell of a shot that they just hit. So, I think that's just a habit that I've had from my tennis days.
So Julian, you play with passion, but you're also one of the quickest guys out there, right? You fly all over the court. I've never really seen anything like it. You're screeching more than I've ever heard anyone screech. It sounds like there's traffic going on everywhere because it sounds like tire screeching. Your shoes get a complete wear through. I saw them the other day when we were in Austin, and there were holes everywhere in your shoes. You just shred them. And, one, we need to get you a shoe deal. Two, how does that feel on your body? I mean, does that affect you? What do you do to, maintain your health? Because that's some pretty serious.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I broke up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of that. Thankfully, I'm not the biggest person, so I think that helps add to the speed. I'm not too heavy, so that allows me to slide around. To be honest with you, I body-wise probably haven't felt this good in 10 years. So, going from being on the teaching side and just sitting by a basket for hours on end to actually now playing a lot, stretching, doing all the extra things off the court, taking care of my body, eating right. I've been eating a lot better, not drinking. So really, treating this like I'm a professional athlete, which kind of sounds strange to say. I think just kind of similar to what I said earlier about the whole practice regimen, it's tough to make it right now if you're not doing everything possible to really be the best athlete that you can be, because that's what it's going to take moving forward. This sport is quickly turning into a very competitive athletic activity. It's not your sit there and just dink the ball around, right? Especially singles and even doubles. Doubles still takes a lot of athleticism, hand speed, hand-eye coordination, and you're seeing more and more tennis players just starting to drop their tennis rackets and pick up these paddles and give it a go. So I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve and stay fit. And I'm only getting older, so if I want to maintain that speed that you're alluding to, I really got to work at it. It's obviously a natural gift that I've been given, but I got to take care of it, take care of the body.
Also, the haircut helps.
It does. That was probably about 15 to 20% of my body weight. So
the draft when you were getting, that's good.
Right, combined with the draft, I'm even thinking about getting rid of this. This is probably another 5% of my body weight. So,
Julian, what's your might be an uncomfortable question. What's your ceiling in singles and doubles?
My ceiling? Like, where do you think?
Where do you
think I can get to? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think singles, I have a better idea of, where I can be hopefully I set a goal for myself to be top 5 by the end of the year. And I just think the way the sport's set up right now, it rewards players that are playing a lot of tournaments. So I think just with the fact that I'll be playing a decent amount this year, that top 10, top 5 could be very doable. And if I can manage to progress a little bit further than 4th, that would help a lot with the points. Seems like the points are I haven't really looked exactly at it, but it seems like you get a lot of points for winning or 2nd or 3rd, whatever, compared to it seemed like, for instance, in Port St. Lucie, I lost first round to Ryler DeHart, who's an amazing player. I had no idea who he was at the time, but fantastic ex-pro tennis player, and I've gotten to know him pretty well, and he's actually going to be at the event tonight. So fantastic player, right? Kicked my butt, and I had to work my way all the way to the bronze through the back, and I think I was getting something like 7 points per win, which compared to, like, I don't know, the thousands that you get for winning the tournament just seems just kind of skewed. Yeah. I don't know. Like I look at how many points Ben has, and I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to get 22,000 points when I'm getting like 25? But I don't know. It seems like unrealistic. Granted, the guy wins 90% of the tournaments he's entered, but it seems like they could even that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw, but Frank Anthony Davis wrote a piece about your case where you had lost in the first round of the tournament and then went through the back draw, ended up 4th, playing for the bronze medal, and ended up 4th, but you won no money for that showing. Whereas people that went through the brackets, and even if you won just one match in the first open play, in the bracket play, you were then compensated for that. No. It feels like
you win no money in the back draw.
I thought I did win some money, but I don't really know.
Are you checking your bank?
Talk with your accountant and then come back to us.
Well, that's thankfully that's what I have Ryan for, which is nice. I just focus on the playing. But yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, the sport is still so new. It's not like the prize money is sustainable, right? So thankfully I'm in a position right now that I have such a good friend that is allowing me to really focus 100% on just the playing. So as much as that sounds like it sucks, yeah, I guess I did work my butt off, and I feel like I played something like. I think the bigger issue, and I'm not sure if Frank touched on this, is the fact that, the men's draws are so big. that I think I didn't play Ben in the bronze, but I think if I would have played Ben in the bronze, I would have played something like 9 matches in one day. I might be wrong by a match, so something like 8, 9, whatever it is, which is just sounds like an insane amount. Thankfully, I did cramp. I think I ended up playing Ryler again in the back draw, and I had to take a 15-minute injury timeout because I was cramping. So it's a lot, and I think, my thoughts would be going forward if the PPA or the APP or whatever, because these tournaments are all run the same way. It's one event per day. If they want more guys or more players to invest in singles, and not pull out and think about just their doubles side, I feel like there's got to be something done about how big these draws can be. Whether it's starting to implement a qualifying system, or I don't know, because that's a lot. That's a lot for us to be playing and then turning around and playing mixed the next day, and then doubles the next day, and then if you happen to make it to a Sunday, like, are you just gassed at that point? And those are supposed to be the best matches of the whole tournament. Like, you want your players fresh. If you look at the professional tennis side, those guys are getting a day in between their matches, and they're playing one match a day. Granted, it's 5 sets and can go 5 hours or more, but I feel like there's things to learn from how tennis does things, I guess.
Yeah. And even the
just throwing opinions out there,
Yeah, and even the point system, the way it works now is that if you do not play, if you withdraw from there is no penalty for that. And so that's part of what we're seeing, is that people are opting out once they lose their first match, and not being penalized at all on a points basis. At least that's my understanding of it. But
yeah, I guess. I guess it should depend on why you're pulling out. But I guess
A lot of gray area.
I think there's a lot of gray area. I guess it would be nice if somehow the player who did win still gets rewarded for that win, because clearly, if someone's just pulling out, it could be there could be multiple reasons behind it, and I'd say the number one is probably worried about their energy level or health or whatever going forward for doubles, which they want to give a better shot at. But it seems kind of like a missed opportunity for a player to maybe make an upset, or get that opportunity to play a highly ranked player. So there's obviously, the sport is still young, so there's changes that I'm sure will be made going forward that will hopefully benefit how the whole thing is run.
Yeah. All right. Well, what are you? What are your expectations this upcoming week for yourself? Do you have any goals in mind? Do you have anything that you're shooting for?
I think my goal is always to get out there and try to win the tournament. That's that's the number one or big goal, I guess. Other than that, I just want to make sure I'm obviously enjoying the process. I don't want to get out there and have a bad time. So staying positive. For me, I think focusing, especially on this tournament, trying to have a better attitude than I did in Austin. I did look back at some of the matches and thought, hey, that's something that I need to work on. So yeah, that, I get to play doubles twice. So just trying to be as supportive and as positive as a partner as I possibly can be for Elise and for Johnny. So, yeah, I think, get out there, have fun, let the results, come to me, and yeah, take it one match at a time, 1 point at a time.
Yeah.
Love it. Any questions for us?
My favorite part of the show.
How do you get your facial hair looking so good, Jared?
I actually been looking at it the whole interview.
You have to trim that daily?
It doesn't look that good, but I appreciate that. It was pretty scruffy there for a minute, and then I just took a razor to it, and here we are. And I kind of like it. My face looks a little fat when it's less when it's shorter. So I feel I've been looking at myself this whole time.
So when you shave it, do you think it looks less fat?
No, when I shave it, it looks more fat.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It looks more fat.
I feel like a bowling ball
you.
face, kind of. You know, it's like I don't know.
I think it's the hat a little. I think it's the hat a little bit.
Yeah, my hair's kind of long. I need a haircut. You know, at one point, I actually didn't wear a hat for one of the kitchen conversations because someone at somewhere, I think it was an MLP party, said, "I've never seen you without a hat on," and that gave me a complex. So,
no, I think I like the hair.
I think at some point we should meet up in Austin and have a session where you talk about your mom and I'll talk about my hair complex, and all will be good. All will be well.
Yeah, I'll meet you at
Bolden Acres.
No, I was thinking, what's your brother's spot?
Pluckers.
Oh, Pluckers, yeah.
When do we get to play again? Never.
Have you worked on anything that I told you?
Yes, I did drill on Sunday. Actually.
Good.
And I played yesterday, and I'm playing tomorrow with Amir, actually, who's a top 60 tennis player, and he's pretty critical.
Oh, nice.
He's pretty critical too.
I love Amir. He's
guy.
Awesome. We just played with him yesterday, and I couldn't be more stoked on meeting him. And I told him we should play a tournament.
How's his game?
How was what?
How's Amir's game?
It's good. I mean, it's raw. I'd say it's raw. Like, I think he gets out there with a little bit higher level play. I think he's going to just obviously improve so fast. I mean, there's no doubt that anyone who comes from his tennis background can't play this sport at an extremely high level. I think it's just how much time he wants to put into it. It's tough, you know. He's obviously touring a lot. It was me, Lo, Amir, and I had this guy, a great young kid, come into town for a couple of days. His name's Pesa Tioni.
Oh yeah.
And talk about a guy who's extremely talented. Like, looking at him, I would have never thought, oh, you know, you never picked up a tennis racket, but he's totally self-taught, never played a racket sport, and is just a freak athlete and probably one of the nicest soft-spoken people I've ever met. So, great young kid. I'm hoping maybe
he's a better fourth than I am.
Cold hard truths.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fun though. I'm pretty fun to play with. Right?
You're a great personality out there. Like, me and you on the same side. I don't think there's not many people I'd like on the right side of me more than you.
There should be I think there should be an event. I'm gonna think through this more, but I think there should be a charity event or something where it's pros and Joes. It's like 4-0 and a pro. And you know,
Jared, we've gone over this. You're 3-5.
3-5 and a pro. No, I won 7 matches at 4-0 this weekend. I'm
I'm just kidding. I'm just this is our constant conversation on the court, right? Just back and forth bantering. I love it.
But I think it's good. I think it should be like influencers in the space who are not the best pickleball players playing with the pros. Jason, what do you think? You in?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. What else? Anything else?
Questions for you guys?
Yeah, just in general. You know,
you guys gonna be there? You guys gonna be there tonight? Or I guess Jared, you're gonna be there tonight, right?
I might not be there tonight. I know I'm feeling pretty burnout. I need some time with the family.
I had a kitchen shirt prepared. I'm changing it.
It's been nonstop. We'll see if I can make it out there. I'm tired.
Who's gonna stream it?
I don't know. They haven't reached out to have us there, so maybe someone else. Maybe it'll just be, you know, just it'll be a actual on the Duper MLP. It's where people have to go. But tonight, we love Duper.
I need my biggest fan out there.
I will be there rooting for you from 30 miles away if I'm not there. But for those who are unaware, well, you're not going to see this live, so it doesn't matter. But check out Duper's Tuesday night. It's
Pickleball in America.
Pickleball Night in America. Duper MLP Dreamland. They're doing really cool stuff. And yeah, Julian, man, I'm really excited that we got that you're out here now and we get to spend more time together. And I think you're a great guy, great for the sport. And I'm excited. When I watch you play each time on the stream, I know it's going to be exciting, win or lose.
Agreed.
I'm here to entertain, so I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate the time. Appreciate you coming on and sharing those thoughts, and keep up the good work. I mean, you are. I don't know if anyone's come on the scene and won as much as you have and made as much of an impact in this short period of time. So I'm expecting big things for the rest of 2022, and look forward to watching them unfold.
Yeah, thanks you guys for having me. And always appreciate the support from you too. So Jared, I hope to see you soon, and you as well, Jason. Whenever you're in Austin, let me know, and I guess hopefully we'll see you at a tournament at some point soon too. So,
got it.
All right, you guys take care.
Yeah, good luck tonight.
See you, Julian. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.